applause en vivo! Yay! Welcome everybody. This is gonna be in English, something not common in this channel, at least in this YouTube channel. But Marcus doesn't speak Spanish yet. So this is gonna be half an hour, so we make it brief and very concise. We have some questions that I received in Instagram. Thank you very much, people. And we have read also a bit about them, so we need clarification for a few. So I hope you are here. We have the chat somewhere. We are following it, I think.
You can see it on the other one where you were just were.
Okay. First timers. Yes. Bear with us.
But change it from... Well, it doesn't want to show it to you.
No.
But it's there.
There. Yeah. Awesome. Hello. Arre. That's our first message. Awesome. All right. So, Marcus, we have a few questions here. And a few of them are... People have some sort of idea about Finland. But are those ideas myths or the reality?
Well, let's find out.
All right. So, the most mentioned thing about Finland is that the people there are super happy, and also the education is really, really great. So we have two topics. The education one has been asked also in separate questions as well. So what do you think? Would you say that Finns are happy?
We have spoken about this before.
Yeah.
In between us. And the fact that how they are reporting it in the news about the happiest country in the world doesn't mean that people are happy. We're not happy.
Does it make you feel like angry or annoyed?
Annoyed.
They say that all the time. It's like a bad joke for Finns because people here, a lot of people, like a third of the population, if no more, suffer from depression and are not only diagnosed, they are also under treatment with medication for depression. So saying those things is pretty offensive. So the study is about quality of life, right? That you have access to nature, that you have access to education and to healthcare. Doesn't mean that it's good or bad, but you have the access. The opportunities are there. But it's not related to the feelings of happiness at all. What about education? Do you think the education is great?
It used to be. Then, in the 90s, we had some issues with inflation. And they started cutting, the funding for everything. Also, the school system. And after that, it's not bad. But it's not that great either.
It's not the best of the world.
No.
Anymore. And it hasn't for 20 years or something like that.
Yeah, but
12 years since 2010.
Well, basically, they cut the money at the end of the 90s, basically, and then you could see when the kids that were born at that time went to school.
Yes, so there are some news that we also have and we can share, but there's going to be another video about the news about what happened to the educational system. And to be honest, for what I have read so far, there is one person that seems to be the responsible of the downgrading the educational system, and it was a prime minister that made certain decisions and it didn't go well. Okay, so not good education, not happy people. All right, we have two myths already. Is it true that you work 4 days per week?
No.
Well, if you have a contract to work 4 days per week,
then of course, yeah.
So a part-time work, yes, but otherwise, no, it's not common.
Yeah, the normal work week is 5 days.
5 days, and Saturdays also. If you have holidays, then the rule here for requesting your holidays for 5 days, it counts 6 because Saturdays count as working day.
Yeah.
So that's why we also have a lot of days. Yeah, but many of those days are Saturdays for our holidays.
Yeah, but that's why you apply to start your holiday on Monday.
Exactly. And this comes from because people assume that Sanna Marin actually wanted to push this forward in Finland. I don't know if you know about that.
I'm not sure.
There was a meeting of SDP, so the Social Democrat Party that Sanna Marin belongs to. Sanna Marin is the Prime Minister of Finland, and it's like their ultimate goal is to have a working week of 4 days or of 6 weeks, 6 days 6 hours per week per day. Blah. So that's their ultimate goal, so people can spend more time with their family and with themselves doing valuable things that are meaningful for you as a human. But it was just mentioned like in an internal meeting of her political party, and it has never been a project from the government, and they are not really pushing this forward. They would like to, like in an ideal world, this is what they would like to, but this is not true. Is it true that in the hospitals, pregnant women have a really good treatment? Like, I have never been pregnant in Finland or ever, so you can support this.
Well, based on the one time in my life that I have seen the situation, like, yeah, I would probably go the treatment is good. It's not amazing. Like,
yeah, it's basic.
Yeah. Like
you have to pay for the food, and the food is bad. That's the one I know.
And then if you want to stay there, you have to pay for the nights. And, well, I think the shared room is, like, covered in the basic price, but, like, we had a family room with my ex-girlfriend at that time, and for that you have to pay extra, and even getting the family room depends on if it's free.
If it's available.
Yeah.
Okay. What I can say, because I know about other experiences that didn't go that well, but they are not my experience, is that it depends on the professionals that are around you. Sometimes some women, like actually the 3 cases I know, had different challenges and really bad ones. One of them almost died because there's no doctor during your child delivery.
Labor.
During your labor. There are nurses that, although they are specialized in these cases they are there for you to have a baby with them, they are not in the same level as a doctor that can understand if something else is not going well. And also there's a lot of room for human errors. Yeah. So the people I know were just kept in a room to wait until the baby comes, and then they had to have a C-section because, like, an emergency one, because that didn't happen in Finland though, and this is important. C-sections are not scheduled. It's not that you can choose to have one. They are going to prioritize having a baby in a natural way, and then as a last resource, then they will go through it. But sometimes the criteria of the people is not the best. So, yeah, it's a bit complex. According to my sister, Finland is the land of elven. Do they really believe in them?
Not really.
Do Finns believe in anything?
No, because
ghosts, spirits.
We used to.
Fairies.
Like
past lives. Aliens.
Before Christianity, we used to.
Christianity came like 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, but no.
So now,
Not
do
really
you believe
anymore.
in anything of that? Have you ever heard anything about Finland being a land of elven?
Not sure like from the elven, but like having spirits and stuff like that, yeah. Because we like well, basically the other Nordic countries too, we were very close to the nature and the spirits of the nature before somebody decided we will be Christians, and then like nothing after that.
That the Sami as well.
Yeah.
The Sami is the native people from the Nordic countries in Russia, and they do believe in the spirits of the woods, and you can see that in Frozen. But that has been kept from their culture. But like they are the real Finns.
Yeah.
So basically, religion, language, traditions, everything is born from them.
Yeah.
Is the famous cheese called Finlandia from Argentina, is it really Finnish?
You mean?
Is. It has been in the news that there is a cheese in Argentina called Finlandia, and also there is a cheese in Finland called Finlandia. And then that's the situation. That's the Finlandia cheese gate. Because the Argentinian one is not registered in Finland, or the company doesn't operate here. And the same for the Finnish company does not really operate in Argentina, then none of those companies can claim to the other one. So they can name the cheese Finlandia, but it has been controversial in Finland.
It has nothing to do with Finland.
It has nothing to do with Finland. The Finnish Finlandia cheese is a hard cheese.
Yeah.
It's not spreadable.
No.
And not raste.
What is a raste?
I don't know.
Grated cheese.
Grated. Yeah, I manage a bit of Finnish, and sometimes it's confusing to remember words in one language or the other. I don't know if this person is seeing us. From Colombia, I thought that I was going to listen in every corner of Finland metal music. But being here, it's not really like that.
No.
So
It was a question that I remember.
there was a question, but I don't
But
find
it was
right
about,
now.
like-
But it was about, is it really that Finland are really much into heavy metal music?
No. We have very many metal bands. We're into those, but we're not into listening to it that much.
Those metal bands are really more famous outside, abroad, but not in Finland.
Yeah, like...
What's the music that Finns listen to?
But I think we're slowly, like, the music that is going from rap to dance. Currently, I think. Like, it goes with the age of the people who will listen to it.
Yeah, but there are more rap or hip-hop bands than metal bands. It is true that there are a lot of metal bands, and that many of them are good and are well known abroad. That's a fact. It doesn't mean that here, I mean, you can see the musicians in the supermarket, in the mall, in the street, and nobody will get crazy. Yeah, fact. The scene is not that big here. On the contrary, when we had during the pandemic or in the last year, there are a lot of festivals here, because there are so many good Finnish bands, they managed to make the festivals with them. So you could see a lot of metal bands there too, with one ticket. So that was awesome. But otherwise, usually not too many bands come to play to Finland as well, because it's far and expensive.
Yeah, but there's a sea in between Europe and us, basically.
Yeah, basically you can go through Europe to Denmark and Sweden and Norway and have tours there. But if you want to come to Finland with your band, you have to take a ferry with all your equipment, and everything is very expensive. So the metal scene is good because Finland has good bands. You don't get to hear that in the supermarket, in the radio, in the gym, in the shops.
No, you need to know to which bar or festival you have to go.
Or which radio to listen to. So
even the radios are...
Radio Rock.
Yeah, but that's mainstream still. Like, it's mostly
It's
non-Finnish.
like rock and pop in Argentina. Yeah, they will play some metal, but it's because it's that radio. Okay. Let's see. What other questions you have? Do you remember any?
No, but then you have... Well, we had that one, but...
How real is... How do you say that? But you
it would be Russophobia.
Okay. Russophobia. Is it true that Russians have a hard time finding a job or being trusted by people?
To a degree, yes. Like, of course, we've had Russians here for but longer than we have been a country.
Yeah.
But that also one of the reasons why there is this Russophobia in Finland. It depends a lot on where you are in Finland, also how it shows up, but it's not only towards Russians, it's also like, if you can speak Finnish, you have a much easier time. In general.
Yeah. If you speak Finnish, but also being Russian has...
Yeah, that has some negative
aspects. Like, we don't care, but there's a lot of people that do. For them, it has been challenging since before the current situation. It has been challenging to find an apartment or find a job or to have a life without bullying or any bad situations. Like, that's for any foreigner. But for Russians specifically, they get rejected from works or not accepted in apartments to rent because of just their family name, because you can notice it's a Russian family name. There are reasons for that. Yeah. And it's because, well, past history between the countries where one country attacked the other one. So it doesn't mean that all Russians are bad, but, you know, for different families that the war was really recent anyways.
Yeah, like
80 years, so his grandmother lived that time. And that is still in every family.
Like everybody still remembers it somehow.
Yeah, same as Civil War. Everybody remembers, everybody knows, and you kind of don't really talk about which side your family was taking. I don't know what.
Time for your Finnish lesson.
Let's see. Hei, tarkkuja täältä. Minä ja argentiinalainen tyttöystäväni seurataan teitä matkaa. Mitä?
Well,
I get part of it, but not everything. That's how Finnish sounds. And that was a really good thing.
It was greeting from there.
Yes. That he's her girlfriend.
Argentinian.
Yes, Argentinian girlfriend.
Are following our journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kiitos. My Finnish is there.
It is.
There.
It is surprisingly good.
Kiitos. But he just says that because he likes me. Okay. Have the native communities been displaced from their territory, or things have been better in Finland? I want to add more information about this. This person is asking this, but probably this person knows that the Sami, which are the native people from the north of Europe, they do have their own parliament, and they have been able to make a lot of decisions compared with other native people from other countries. People may notice that they are in a better situation, but are they?
probably in a better compared to a lot of other natives, but still, yeah, like their land has been at some points taken away. Yes, that stopped for some time ago. I don't remember when, but like the government is not taking it away from them anymore. But because they live in Lapland, which is also the place where all the mining in Finland happens, the mining companies are also very. I don't know how it goes. Like there's many articles about this, and we haven't read them. But the mining companies are somehow managing to take away pieces of their land and like cultural landscapes that they have gotten used to, and that is like an ongoing thing between the Sami people and the government of Finland currently.
We went to the celebration of the Sami Day 1 or 2 weeks ago, and they mentioned there that they want to be able to manage their land so it's under their control and not under the Finnish control. Because Finland can say, yes, mining company, you can take this land and it's their land.
Yeah,
their land is sacred.
Yeah, and they even say that they don't, like they will like even go for the fact that they will be heard when they are speaking about those things. Because that is something that doesn't happen with everything.
Yeah, but they are a minority, and as every minority in any country of the world, they are marginalized. But they are the real Finns.
Well, they're not real Northern Europeans.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Real Northern Europeans. Okay, let's see what other question. There's nothing else in the chat.
About 10 minutes.
Yeah, we have about 7 minutes. We can answer some other of the questions.
Off topics.
Or moving a bit from the myth topic. But let's see. Oh, I have one that is a good one. And nobody actually asked about this time, but people are convinced that two things. Finlandia is part of Scandinavia. It's not. That's a myth. Every time that you see this Scandinavian country, Finland, then it's not. Finland is its own region, and Scandinavia has things in common. And Finland is like a really far distant cousin in that family. But how much related are Finns and the Vikings?
Very little.
Disappointment in all your faces.
Yeah, like the Vikings did come to Finland.
They came to near Helsinki.
Yeah, to Porvoo.
Porvoo.
And stuff like that. And they came here, they traded it with us. They tried to conquer us. Like, there are, like, stories about this. They came here, they tried to conquer us, and we threw them out.
Finns, are still very protective with their land. Yeah.
But I don't still know how we managed. Like, we were hunters at that point, basically.
Yeah, it was like, a tribe of people.
Yeah.
But it was unexpected for them to find people so inside the country and not near the shore. Because they were, they probably projected how they lived to how everybody else lived in the region, and that didn't match for them. So when they were sure that there was only forests, suddenly a lot of people came.
Yeah.
But I think they also were covered with the snow and things like that. So yeah.
Like, Finns have been training how to defend this country for a long time. That's how we managed to survive the Second World War. We didn't win it, we survived.
And kept the independence.
Yes. But also, like, in Porvoo, there's a cemetery where they have found Viking things.
Yes, so Vikings came here. They sailed in different waters from Finland. They did trading with locals, and some of them, of course, died during that process. Yeah. So they were buried in Finland with a lot of items. And once in a while, you still can see in the news that they find new Viking items here. And they are, of course, taken to the museum. They are not in exhibition, the new ones, but you can see a lot of Viking items found in Finland in the National Museum in Helsinki.
Yeah, and also like a lot of, how do you say, they Viking style inspired the Finnish style on many things too.
Yeah. There are many symbols that are similar in between.
Even our family crest has the hammer of Thor.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, fancy! Wow. So I never watched the movie Thor, and I never read the Nordic or Norse mythology.
Yeah.
I should probably. There is also a Finnish mythology, but everybody here says that the Norse one is better. But
Norse one makes more sense.
Thor's hammer is part of also the Finnish god of thunder, so the Thor equivalent. It's like Greeks or ancient Greeks and Romans, that they had the same gods.
We just changed the names a bit.
But different name, but they did the same things, or they had the same roles. So it's kind of the same with the Finnish mythology. So Ukko is the Thor equivalent, and his day is celebrated during Juhannus. What are you writing?
Because we were invited to come to Spain.
Oh, I would
at
love
some point,
to. Yes, of course. We have never been together in Spain.
No. We have been to Spain like without each other.
Without each other. Okay, so 3 minutes. In 3 minutes, I don't know if Mati and Viaje is online, but she asked about the Finnish legal system, if it's the most independent of the world. And I don't know, we don't really know what she meant.
It might be that like the legal system and the government are not really connected to each other, which is probably is true. Like I don't know because that's not the thing.
We need more context for this one.
Yeah, and we need to research because let's say the Swedish one and the Norwegian one are at least like on the similar level on being not connected to the government.
Yeah. But something to add about the legal system is that it takes a long time.
Yeah, it's slow.
It's really slow. So if you commit a crime, or if migrations kicks you out from the country, and if you start a legal process, most people get a new visa to live in Finland years before going to trial for being in Finland illegally.
Yeah, and after that you will of course complain about it.
Yeah.
And it will probably take a couple of years more.
Yeah. Probably you get I don't know if you get some money for the inconvenience.
If the government like loses those things, there are it's not like the USA that you get millions, but you get some compensation.
You get some, nobody asked about this. We have 1 more minute, but it's a good example as well that this person, the only person that survived the most popular unsolved crime in all Finland. So the Bottom Lake.
Bodom.
The Bottom Lake case.
Bodom.
That's the person.
The lake is Bodom.
Bodom. Why do you write bottom?
Because it's Swedish.
Okay, I'm sorry, Sweden. Yeah. So if many of you maybe know, there was a metal band called Children of Bodom, Children of Bodom, and the name is after this crime. So this person was actually taken after like 20 years after the crime. So imagine this person was in a tent with his close friends, and everybody was bloodily, really awfully killed, apparently with like some sort of axe or any sort of cutting device. And the guy wakes up, he sees everybody around him full in blood, dead. Nobody sees anything, nobody saw anything. And like 20-30 years after that, he is considered by some random person of the government suspicious of him being the criminal, that he killed everybody. And because of that inconvenience, he got a lot of money back from the government because he was accused of being suspect, and his reputation was really affected. So the government had to pay him and he got a lot of money for that.
Yeah, for the Finnish system.
For but it was it was a lot of money for Finland.
Oh, I was trying to find a picture, but I can't find it now.
Okay, so it's half an hour since we started.
Yeah, I think this is enough for this time.
Yeah, thank you very much for the ones that participated. This video is gonna stay in my YouTube channel. We're probably coming up with another YouTube channel. We don't know yet, but we would like to do this more often to share different topics and also to answer your questions. Do you want to say anything? Last words?
No, I just want, we wish to see more people, or all of those who followed us now, and more people on the next one. We don't know when it happens.
Yeah, we don't have a schedule for
yet,
this.
at least. And also, my work schedule is stupid, so I don't know when I can be home.
But
we will try to do it
we're going to UMK, which is the Finnish contest where they will choose the Eurovision band or singer artist
to represent Finland.
To represent Finland in Eurovision, and we're going there. So probably the next video will be about the selection or what we get to see there.
Well, we can see everything.
Shh. They don't have to know yet. All right, thank you everybody. See you next time.
Thank you.